Hey guys, how's it going? October 14th, 2020, and this is probably just more of a little video blog. This might be the last. I keep saying this, and I just wanted to be clear as to why that's happened. There's a couple of reasons. This, I'm trying to change the way I'm communicating, for one. I don't mind doing video blogs, but I much prefer not wasting your time with a live stream setting it up, although it's not that big of a deal. Go into either my forum, which probably is changing. I'm just giving a heads up on that. I'm not too pleased with it. It's really no longer a community, which is fine. I got no problems with that. I'm quite happy with what I'm doing and what I'll continue to be doing with trains. And that is been the primary focus. That will continue to be the primary focus of my extracurricular activities involving my hobby. This is my primary hobby. Um, my son has been a major part of it. He hasn't always been, which is fine because we have our own things that we do together. Um, a lot of it train related, quite frankly. And he's into trains and he's got his own ambitions when it comes to trains, but he wants to see this project as well, just as bad as I do. And right now, I'm looking at rebranding RTS. For some time, I've thought about that, and Railroad Transportation Simulator is really not what this is all about. That was more about the software. I actually it started out as a concept. It was eventually found a home with Run 8 because I was able to. Well, I shouldn't say before that. Even before that, I was using it as part of. I was using it as part of Microsoft Train Simulator in a very similar fashion, but I think I still had ambitions back then, if I recall, that I wanted to see it much bigger. And, to some extent I did, but eventually it all came down to knowledge and ability and how much time I had to spend and how much time I wanted to spend. When Run 8 came into my life, that's where RTS found its real um, home for 8 or so years or whatever it's been um, that I was doing it. I haven't really done it much at all this year, if at all, I don't think. Tiny bit maybe. I kind of went into the end of last year and I was pretty much done. And I knew it. And I was always hoping, I was waiting to see what was going to happen to the new year. It was a year later than what we heard from the year prior, and it didn't happen. Things were not happening for me personally, and that's okay. I mean, that's just my opinion. Anybody who's still into it is, more power to you. And maybe eventually I'm going to miss out on something. Maybe I'll eventually get back into it. I doubt it, even no matter what happens, just because I've found a much more interesting home with trains. Could I run into a situation someday where I ran in with Run 8 where the software, say for example, if you look at the criticism for trains, they say a lot of old stuff gets broken by updates, and there's bugs. There's all kinds of other things that I hear about, and lack of proper physics. I mean, we knew Run 8 was the best train simulator on the planet. without question. Anybody who wants to argue against it, that's fine. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but um, there's no doubt in my mind that they're the best. But this was more for me. This was more. This gave me more ability. Um, how you talk to us? Well, there is the way of the magic 8 ball. That's how you like to talk to us. I'll answer that for you. No, there is way too much content for you to give up trains, packs, bugs, and all. Just trying to read that. There is, there is way too much content for you to give up trains. I'm not giving up trains. Hell no. Trains is in me. If that's I'm just looking. Just reading that because I see trains with a Z. Yeah, there's no way. I think you're just reaffirming what I've already uh, what I'm basically saying. So what Quincy's I think reaffirming is yeah, there's just way too much. No matter what bugs there bugs there are and all that. Uh, yeah, it's just it's not going to happen. Like I'm going to be, and I'm in no hurry to upgrade either. There's another version coming out. There's all kinds of stuff. I don't care. I don't need to upgrade. I'm not looking. Maybe at some point there'll be some eye candy, and I'll give it a look, and who knows? Yeah, I don't know yeah. So there's the update for 2019, but there's also talk of another version of altogether, or another something or other. I don't know. They're doing stuff on the beta branch or something, but I don't know. But anyways, this isn't going to be too long. I'm not gonna. I actually want to get back to it. I got about an hour, but I'm probably not going to get too much. One of the things that I can't do, I found this out the hard way, is to try and look at some of my video capture footage while I'm live streaming. I noticed that the other day, and I just totally disappeared off of my live stream. It was totally dead when I came back, and I was just like, oh, I guess I'm talking to nobody. So um, I need to go into that to pretty much scout out what the elevations are. I'm working on the elevations right now and getting the grade profile set. That's going to be something that is going to take a lot of time, and I'm okay with that. Um, it's interesting because one, it gets us out, and I want to get pretty much as I can, especially on the Grimsby sub and the Stanford sub, before winter comes, the winter weather comes. So as long as I have the nice weather and I can get out there, that'd be great. I'm thinking about getting an altimeter. I've thought about that. I've been looking into them. I'm not too sure if an altimeter is a good idea or not, because I've wasted money on other little gadgets like these super duper um, toothbrushes or whatever are supposed to, they brush all your teeth at once. That thing, oh, I waited forever for it to come in, and that thing was just. I mean, it's okay. I mean, it has its benefits, but it really doesn't clean your teeth that well. So I have, for the most part, I make good purchases, but I just don't want to be spending money on something that I'm going to regret. Um, and plus, I don't want to be spending too crazy in these times. Not right now. I'm doing good, but you never know. Things could change at a moment's notice. And so, getting back to the whole rebranding thing, the reason why this rebranding is because I have what I'm anticipating at least 2 years of work ahead of me. At least 2 years. I probably have more than that. If in fact I got 2 years before I think it's even going to be close to release, potentially released, this route, because I wouldn't have it any other way. At least 2 years, and I'm going to continuously be doing more to it. This Niagara is my home. This is going to develop gradually over time. I may not have every subdivision in Niagara. I may just start with what I've got right now, which is going to be Stanford and Grimsby. I scaled back on my ambition as far as I got the Dems already that I need, but I scaled back on my ambition as far as doing too much at once. I decided no, I just want to go back to getting the Stanford and Grimsby subs in play, and the rest, that can wait because there's just too much. Um, so I want to be able to get my experience in. I want to be able to get a system that works for me, the gradients, the correct profile. There's a lot of things that I have to try to trial and error, see how it works. I mean, thankfully at this point, I think the work with the dem is over. I think that part is done. There's nothing more. I shouldn't say the work with the dem is over, but the dem is created. I've created my subdivision uh, route. I've already done the merge with Stanford and Grimsby. The other ones, yeah, I'll have to merge them eventually too, but that's okay. But as far as starting over from scratch again, I'm not doing it. This is it. There's no reason why I have to. I have the best resolution that I can possibly get without compromising too much of my too much of resources. I'm already probably up there resource. I noticed the other night just on a bare baseboard with track, I can see the frame differentials, and I'm not worried about that. I could care less about that. I have a mid-grade graphics card, so I'm not worried about that. It does fine, and if I want to lower the settings, I can. But right now, I'd much rather have the settings high, let it go, and I don't mind a little bit of stuttering here and there. Once I get the stuff in there, that'll be a different question as to what I want to do. But um, at least I'll be able to probably get at least still screenshots in to know what things look like, to be able to get a good idea as to what it could look like in some um, optimal conditions for a higher intensity, and then just throw it through and say, hey, here's what I've got. um, Try to keep the polys low as much as possible, try not to overdo the trees and all the other stuff, but that's a long ways away. I'm not even at that point yet. So um, but back to the rebranding thing. The forum is absolutely useless right now. It's changed so much from where we were a couple years ago. Because a couple years ago, we were in a situation where I was still running a server or still part of something or in the process of looking to possibly do a version 2 and all this other stuff to try to keep up with whatever, and I never really was motivated. Right now though, I am motivated. I'm very motivated. Unfortunately, a lot of this is redundant. A lot of this is not entertaining, and I just don't want to be pumping out the videos. I would much rather communicate and keep working, put some music in the background and just keep working, and then post updates like a blog or something like that. I'd much rather go that way. The rebranding side of things takes it away from the railroad transportation simulator, and then I'm probably going to rebrand it to something like yeah, it was it railroad transportation simulations, or that's probably, or I don't know what the other one I was even thinking. I posted it in the description of the video. Um, Simulations. I don't know what it was. I was gonna say services, but that ain't it. Whatever the heck it was, it's in here somewhere. Here, let me just see it. I posted it in here. Oh, solutions. Yeah. So railroad transportation solutions. Now, the problem with railroad transportation solutions, it sounds like it's a prototypical thing, and it's not. It's this is totally part of simulations, but to have railroad transportation simulations as far as this instead of the simulator side, and then it just stick with the RTS. That gets me out of the having the website. Then I go to a blog, and I don't need a website. I don't need anything else. A blog is plenty, and from there, people can comment freely on the blog. So I might go to blog space or something like that, somewhere where I can link up to my images and upload some screenshots here and there, just to show you guys what's happening. But I'm not going anywhere. I keep saying this. I'm not burnt out. I'm not tired, and I'm not overdoing it either. I'm not. If I want to spend a little bit of time and take my time, I do it because I know this is going to be a marathon. This is going to be a long haul process. Um, I can't wait to start operating again. Unfortunately, realistically speaking, I to get the track profile, not so much to get the track profile. The things that I need to get in place is I need to get the yard back in place, and I need to get the industries back in place and a working main line or functional main line. I already started with the double track on the Grimsby sub. That's good. Get those things in place. As far as I know, as long as I have the elevation set and the track doesn't change in the place that I save the cars, everything should be fine. Even if it's not, and I lose all of my data, and I got to start the data over, and I'm talking about not the root data; those are backed up. But if I was to lose the actual session data as I'm going through, and somehow one of my scenery updates or route updates made it obsolete or basically broke it, that'd be okay. I could always start from scratch again. It's not a big deal. What I do not want to do is start the route from scratch. I'm ready to go full tilt into it, and that's where the fun will lie in. So yeah, I'll do live streams from here and there. If I feel the need to do it, or if I feel the urge or desire to do it, I'll do it. But I don't want to bore you guys with this kind of thing. Even this kind of thing is kind of boring. But bore you guys with nonchalant going through and just showing you. Like I was sitting there, I couldn't even communicate because the other night I was just playing it and recording it and just going through the whole process. And I'm totally involved in what I'm doing. If my son's put it this way, my son falls asleep pretty easily because especially when you're doing with the 2D stuff, or he's not as he because there's a lot of information here, whereas I probably think he's doing something smaller, but I don't know. And if he is doing something, he's more into something he creates. He's still very much into this, but he doesn't want to go through the repetitive stuff either. Even the other night when I was on, I was tired. I think it was yesterday or whatever the day it was. I guess it was. I don't know if it was yesterday or yeah, it must have been yesterday. Um, and I was going through. I was actually pretty tired that night. I think it was Monday actually. Now that I think about it, so Monday I was really tired, and I was just I was like I could barely stay awake. I ended up going to bed early that night, so it had nothing to do with trains or boredom of it or anything like that. I was just like, oh, yeah, I couldn't handle anymore. So, anyways, I think it looks like my concurrent viewers dropped off the face of the planet, so I put them to sleep. So I'm gonna end this now. Get a little bit of work. I think I want to get some screenshots in. I'll take a look at a blog as well, and we'll take it from there. See what happens. So that's all for now, guys. I'm going back to work before watch wrestling at the top of the hour. So, anyways, have a good one, guys. We'll talk to you later. See ya.